I've just come in here to do a little video to talk to you about a cat, Indigo, that I saw 18 months ago. And I've got a little swizzle sticks here that's taken my spot, looking very comfortable. And all you cat parents out there, you would know that you don't move your cat. You just kind of accommodate and you squidgy in. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of squidgying in. 18 months ago, I had this urgent email in my inbox with regards to this cat, Indigo, who's a beautiful 4-year-old cat, really sick. Mum had spent thousands of dollars at the vet getting test after test, x-ray, scan, you name it, she'd done it. And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. It was getting to the point where the vet had decided that if it's not a physical problem or a health issue, it's probably a behavioural issue. And the option then was to consider putting Indigo to sleep, and Mum was distraught, as you can imagine. It's never easy at the best of times to make that decision. So she found me, and we did a fairly extensive medical intuitive scan on Indigo, and you know, I was seeing the liver and the kidneys were just really taxed and overworking, trying to get rid of something from the body. And when I was looking at the kidneys, I was shown this kind of fizziness, and I likened it to acid being put into pool chlorine, and it goes, you know, and fizzes all up. That's what I was seeing around the kidneys. So I was like, okay, well, what is that? What are you showing me there? And what I was seeing was this is a chemical of some kind that is reacting in the body, which immediately made me want to go to food first, and then maybe environmental after that. Indigo was vomiting every day. He was losing weight, hand over fist. He was listless. He was peeing and pooing outside of his kitty litter. And he had crystals in his urine, but that had been sorted out. But he continued to have these other issues that no one could get to the bottom of. So in the distance of my kind of intuitive hearing, I heard this word euthinoquox. And I don't know if this is the actual ingredient that used to be in eukanuba and iams like 20 years ago, and it was a chemical that was handled in one of those sort of white suits that you don't touch anything, and this is what was getting given to animals to eat, caused all sorts of problems. And so it may not have been that that ingredient per se, but what that was showing me was there is a chemical and a reaction to that chemical going on in the body. So I then decided I would taste, just etherically, because Indigo lives in America and I'm in Australia, I would taste Indigo's food. So when I do that, I taste what he tastes and I feel in my body what he feels. So I've put this food in my mouth and straight away it is just highlighted. My lips are on fire, my sinuses, the back of my throat, the roof of my mouth, all the way down into my stomach and small and large intestine, right through to my rectum and my anus, like everything's on fire. Fortunately, once I've seen that, that feeling goes away. But this is what was going on. It's like, okay, we have an issue here with food and the chemicals in the food. So I sent off all this information to Mum, and she, kudos to her, she took this information to the vet. Now, unless they're a holistic vet, they don't do animal communication for the most part. They think that we're just a bunch of shonks. So she took this off, probably a last straw, I guess. And the vet read this information and said, we definitely need to take Indigo off his food. So I want you to do that. And then I also recommend that you go to this animal naturopath. How great is that? This is just so many words. I wish that all medical practitioners, human and animal, would just be a little bit more open and broad to these things. So the animal naturopath was booked out for quite some time, but they did take Indigo off his food. He is here, happy and super well, 18 months later, and, you know, pretty much at no cost involved, because just taking an animal off the food and not having to have more and more tests, and certainly not having to put Indigo down, is an absolute win. So consider it. You know, I would never not go to the vet myself. Our animals are at the vet as soon as they are needed to be there. So I do that. But if I have issues that can't be resolved or can't be seen, well, fortunately, I can actually dig around and figure out hopefully what that is. But for you out there, if you're not sure, if you don't know what to do, try an animal communicator, because you just never know. They might come up with something that hasn't been considered before. Thanks very much for listening, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested to follow more of my videos. I'm Romy Bueller, the Holistic Animal Health Coach, talking to animals because they can't always help themselves.